everybody, Elirra here. So today I want to talk about this week's updates, and I'm a little bit behind. I know, I'm very sorry about that. So let's get started. This week's icon comes from Wiachko, and as you see, it is a very good depiction of our dinosaur creatures from this week, which I'm really excited about. So this week in the Discord, in the dev feed, Wolfragan says that they added Pterolythux and Felikxtrox to the limited gacha. They removed Gyarados and Cerodon from the limited gacha. They added changes to missions for the secret missions creatures. They added a new plushie obtainable by buying COS UGC in the Sonar Studios group. The current UGC is a Yosog Antlers, Sochuri's Wings, and Minoi's Head. The plushie gives a new material palette called Milo. In case you're wondering about the new secret missions for the secret creatures, the secret mission creatures are Arsenos, Astrathi, Militrua, Valmora, and Zethines. I am not sure currently about what the secret missions are because the wiki was not updated when I last checked, and I'm really sorry about that. So here is the Milo plushie that was added. Here is the Milo palette on the Felikxtrox, and here is the Milo palette on the Pterolythux. I think it's really pretty. I love the shimmer that it gives. But it does change your skin, which I'm not a huge fan of because I do kind of work hard on my skins whenever I do make them. And in the dev feed was a little bit about the Milo plushie. You must buy a UGC item from the Sonar group, the Minoi Head, Soch Wings, Yosog Antlers. You only need to buy one. When you get in game, you unlock the Milo plushie. On a grown creature, equip the Milo plushie to get the material palette. The plushie is not tradable. Links to the UGC items are in the dev feed. You can also find them in the Sonar group if you're wondering. So in the Sonar Studios group, all you have to do is go to their store and you can find the items here. The Minoi Head, the Sochuri's Wings, and then the Yosog Antlers. Okay, now let's talk about the creatures. First, let's talk about Felikxtrox. Felikxtrox is a Tier 4 terrestrial herbivore. The species is available in the limited gacha. The stored version is available in the trial creature shop for 937 shums. The description states that the Felikxtrox sharp thorns and crazy bright pattern make them seem aggressive and dangerous, when in reality, they are the nicest creature there is. They are lovable and playable, and love to roll in muds all day. They are also very overprotective towards babies and small critters who are lost or hurt. The appearance of the Felikxtrox is a ceratopsid dinosaur resembling some of the most evolved species among the clade, such as Triceratops and Torosaurus, but with an additional set of feather-like plated scales covering their entire body in a similar disposition to some pangolins and branch-like horns. Additional spikes, not unlike those covering their frills, protect their back and tail, while bigger, sharper spikes protect the sides of their tail base and tip. Males have a large spike on the tip of their tail along with a small bump on the bridge of their nose. Females have no notable features. The Felikxtrox's abilities are Bleed Defense, Harden, Pack Healer, Serrated Teeth, Thorns, and Bleed. If you do not need a description of these abilities, skip to this time. Bleed Defense is a passive ability that allows creatures to resist the effects of bleed. It is percentage-based. If a creature's bleed defense is 100%, then they are immune to bleed done by melee direct attacks once fully grown. This ability is gained gradually as the creature ages. That is, a creature with 100% bleed defense will have some fraction of bleed defense while growing, being such fraction bigger as it grows. Harden is an active ability using the ability Control that raises the user's bleed defense by 15% and weight by 25% and decreases speed by 20% with a 60-second cooldown. Pack Healer is a passive, pack-oriented ability. This passive ability allows the ability user to heal fellow packmates, regardless of how much health points you have. A pop-up similar to the menu cooldown will say, "A healer is nearby." It is because of this that creatures who have this ability are considered support creatures. Serrated Teeth is a passive ability applied through melee attacks that inflicts a debuff status effect on targets upon biting them that halves their bleed heal rate and lasts for 40 seconds initially. If an attacker with the ability bites before 40 seconds is over, the cooldown for the debuff duration will reset to 40 seconds. Thorns is a passive ability that instead of offensively inflicting bleed, defensively inflicts bleed status when the user is attacked by a melee attack, ignoring bleed defense and unbreakable abilities. Bleed is a passive offensive ability where a creature inflicts a specific amount of bleed status on a creature with every bite. This particular passive offensive is resisted by creatures with bleed defense ability, and it does not work against creatures with the unbreakable ability. The opposite of the bleed passive ability is Thorns. Stage 1, 0 to 10 bleed. Health regeneration is disabled, plus raw damage except if below 10% health while sitting or laying. Stage 2, 1 to 20 bleed. Stage 1 affects and decreases stamina regeneration by 25%. Stage 3, beyond 20% bleed. Stage 1 affects with buffed slightly, plus a stamina regeneration decrease by 50%. A little trivia. The concept was by YY_XX in the Creature of Sonaria Discord. Despite its appearance, it was not based solely on ceratopsid dinosaurs, but dinosaurs in a more generic term. Now let's talk about the Pterolythux. Pterolythux is a Tier 3 flying carnivore. The species is available in the limited gacha. The stored version is available in the trial creatures shop for 562 shooms. The description states the Pterolythux is a large dinosaur-like creature that has a set of wings on its front feet and back legs. These pairs of wings help it soar through the sky with its flattened sails to maneuver itself through the air. For you role players out there, the creature behavior states the Pterolythux are docile pack creatures. Their social groups are similar to giraffes, where dominance is asserted by fighting with their necks. Groups are skyne, or Pterolythux have no social hierarchy and can be seen migrating in V-shaped patterns closely resembling the patterns of goose migration when moving to warmer climates. Males have a single nose horn, and females have extra decorations on the top of their head. The abilities of the Pterolythux are Bleed, Bleed Defense, Serrated Teeth, and Wall Cling. If you do not need a description of these abilities, skip to this time. Bleed is a passive, offensive ability where a creature inflicts a specific amount of bleed status on a creature with every bite. This particular passive offensive is resisted by creatures with the bleed defense ability, and it does not work against creatures with the unbreakable ability. The opposite of the bleed passive ability is thorns. Stage 1, 0 to 10 bleed. Health regeneration is disabled, plus raw damage except if below 10% health while sitting or lying. Stage 2. Stage 1 affects and decreases stamina regeneration by 25%. Stage 3. Beyond 21 bleed. Stage 1 affects, but buffs slightly, plus a stamina regeneration decrease by 50%. Bleed Defense is a passive ability that allows creatures to resist effects of bleed. It is percentage-based. The ability is gained gradually as the creature ages. That is, a creature with 100% bleed defense will have some fraction of bleed defense while growing, being such fraction bigger as it grows. Serrated Teeth is a passive ability applied through melee attacks that inflicts a debuff status effect on targets upon biting them that halves their bleed heal rate and lasts for 40 seconds initially. If an attacker with the ability bites before 40 seconds is over, the countdown of the debuff duration is reset to 40 seconds. Wall Cling is a passive ability that automatically lets creatures cling to walls upon impact with a vertical surface while flying directly toward it or diagonally. While clinging, players are unable to move around, but their stamina replenishes faster. To uncling from a wall, players must use traditional jump controls. However, creatures cannot cling onto surfaces that are smaller than their creature. Countermeasures have been appended to the game for this bug and its siblings, namely if the player's position exceeds plus or minus 15,000 studs on any axis. They will be immediately returned to menu with no delay. A little trivia. The concept by Undiri in the Creatures of Sonaria Discord. It's inspired by pterodactyls, quetzalcoatls, and long-necked flying ornithopterans, that is, the group that contains dinosaurs, and pterosaurs. I'm going to be giving one of each of these away. It's going to be 2 winners, 1 to each person. All you have to do is comment with your favorite place or place that you want to visit. Also, make sure that you leave your Roblox user and display so that I know who to give it to. That's it for me. I hope that this was helpful and covered any questions that you may have had. Thanks for watching. Be kind to one another, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!